Hey guys, happy Friday. Okay, so let me give you some background story on where we're at and what we're looking for and what we're going to do. I know there are a lot of you out there that you love thrifting, you love to be curbside shoppers, and while it's great to get a great deal, we also need to be thinking about the piece, what it is that we're going to do to it. Not everything is a great deal. If you buy something and you don't turn it into something that you can either use or sell, then it's too expensive. So we need to be thinking about, when we come, specifically for me, what do I need to use it for? What am I going to do to it? And then also for me, as far as a lot of you know, I teach people how to do finishes and build their finishing business. And so I was getting ready to do a workshop on working with better with age and creating different finishes. And I told Jean, I was like, let's go to Haven House, because they always have a lot of really good furniture there. While the Restore here in our area is good, the last couple of times they haven't had a whole lot. So I needed to come here. So we're here. And I want to show you a couple of things. I just saw something down here and we're going to go look at it. So let's go. All right. So y'all know I'm really bad at poker faces, but I love Haven House. Oh gosh, look at this. Let me turn this around. Look, it's their truck's pulling up. They've been for a delivery. I'm like, do I dare go look? All right. So I want to walk down here. Babe, where'd you go? Okay. There was a stool down here I wanted to be able to show you. So let's just go look at it real quick. I love Haven House because I've shared this with y'all before. Look, it's, oh my good gosh almighty, look at the traffic. This is 30A, down, no, what did I say? This is 98, you're right. Oh, they're chairs. I thought it was a bench. Okay, so that won't work. All right, so let's take them around and find that piece. So as you pop on here, say, hey, tell me if you call yourself a curbside shopper. You know, Jean and I we're still at the point that half of it is the thrill of the hunt. Would y'all agree? Half of it's the thrill of the hunt. The other half is restoring it. 2, restoring it, and then 3, enjoying the bragging rights. That sounds good. Okay, so look at this. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to turn around again. Come in the back. I know, I told him, I was like, look, there's the truck. They've gone for a pickup. All right, so I want to talk just real briefly. A lot of you are like, I've heard that you can use the one-step paint on upholstery, but I just really don't believe it. Well, here, let me just answer this. It works. We had a gal years ago, do you remember? Like 7 years ago, that she painted her vinyl sofa. Mm-hmm. I call it pleather. Vinyl sofa with the one-step. It went from white to, she did a chocolate brown and she waxed it and it looked like leather. And she has used it to this day. So it does work. But let me turn this around. There are pieces that aren't going to work. Now, this one, this is a kind of a velvet. No, it's more like a suede. Mm-hmm. Like a, but it's that faux suede. Suede. Say that. Suede. This can work, but here's the problem that you run into. Do you see this when you touch it with your fingers like that? You see how it rubs, that nap? That's going to be more rough. So I would say, no, don't paint that. Now, here's, when you see a fabric like this, that is more of a, what is it, babe? Maybe a poly. Like a poly blend, or a lot of, like, you can see the indentation like that. When you paint over it, that's going to show up. So that's like, no, we don't need to choose that one unless you don't mind having that pattern everywhere. Chairs like this, the fabric, the nap, again, it's too thick. And it's not going to paint as well, and you're going to see the indentation of that design. The same with this one. The flame retardant, it's not going to paint well. Now look at this one. This linen, 100% I would paint this. If it doesn't have a seat on it, you know what? That wouldn't bother me, because what I would do, I would actually probably put a combo velvet cushion on this. Done that a lot of times and absolutely loved it. But see, when you've got fabrics that are really dirty, they've gotten soiled, that's when it's a great time to be able to paint them. So now let me show you. We're going to get this chair. One, because I want to show you how to do it. But two, I just think it's a darling chair. And here's the other thing. Can you see that? It swivels. So that way, I'm not worried about the soiling. I'm not worried about what it looks like. I'm not worried about anything. Of course, I was looking at the quality of the cushion, and is it still in good shape? And it is. Now, here's the other thing. It does have this grooving pattern in it, kind of like a linen. That, I don't mind that showing up. It's actually would be desirable. Because this is a printed design on this linen, you're not going to see it. So I'm going to be able to paint over it, and it's going to look great. So where's, now here was the other thing that I wanted to be able to show you. Where's that nightstand? Is it over here? I'm working with my group in the Amy Howard Finishing School. And we wanted to be able to find something that was solid wood. Now, Jean's going to take this down. This little nightstand, there's several things that are good about it. One, can you tell? Oh, that makes me sad.
That's why there's something on top of it. You know,
Tell him about this piece, babe.
Well, it's oak, and they call it a tiger's oak because you can see that kind of striping in it. So it's a little more unique wood because of that.
Which could be pretty if we sand stripped it, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then it's got the dovetail drawers.
No, it does not.
It does.
Okay, hold on. Sure enough. Talk to everybody real quick about dovetailing.
Well, dovetailing was a way to make the joinery of the drawers hold up better so that the drawer front didn't pull off of the drawer. And it is it's very desirable because it takes more time to do that than it does to just butt it together and glue it.
All right, so the body of the piece
is also oak.
Also oak. So this is tiger oak. You can see from the pattern. Mm-hmm. And then that is more of a painted finish, isn't it? But it is oak.
It's just a stain.
Now you'll see, look down here, the doors are sitting inside the cabinet. We're not really concerned about that because we're actually going to get this and we're going to fill the holes here. We're going to take the hardware off. We're going to fill those holes because we're going to put it on a different hardware. And then we're going to put a cute little basket in the bottom, but then we're going to do a different finish on the tiger's oak on the top. So we wanted you to be able to see it where we got it. Now the other thing is, now can you, when you find pieces like this that are printed, like formicas and things like that, yes, you can paint over them. But here's the deal. Now look, see that table over there? That's oak. That top is oak. That top would be really pretty. You could do a sanding finish on that. Just sand it down, get the stain and the lacquer off. And then you could use a very light combination of Better with Age on the top and then paint the bottom and do it in milk paint. That could look like $1 million. I'm like, look, here's me. Like, can you see this? All the workmen. I'm like, can I go over there and look? Would that be so tacky for me? Like, oh my gosh, should I ask? So it's funny. They must be expecting it to rain, that they covered all that up. Is it supposed to rain tonight?
I think so.
Okay. But what I want you to do when you're looking at pieces, I really would like it if you would focus on trying to find something that has a real wood top, because I like doing the combo of a stain top or something with Better with Age, or a lot of times if you don't and the top is like a veneer, if it's a particle board, paint the top just a little bit darker than the bottom. Make sure it's a contrasting. You don't want to do all the same, and that really adds a lot of interest. So as far as today, what we're going to do, and I want to show you, we're going to chair, because I'm going to show you how to paint fabric, and you're going to be shocked at how different it's going to look. And I'm going to get that little nightstand because I want to take you through and show you how to fill the holes. I want to show you how to do something on the top, and I'm going to show you how to be able to paint the bottom. So look, Jean's gone and got our helpers. Hey, I have a question. Could I go look and see what you're unloading? Stuff that's going, oh, is it? Okay, no furniture. Okay, got it. Okay. It doesn't hurt to ask. Okay, so sure enough, I think they're covering up a bunch of stuff. Either they may be getting ready to close, and then that way they'll have stuff unloaded. There's so many great things here. Can y'all see that over there? It's like the worse it looks, the worse it's arranged, the more excited I get. It's so funny. All right, so there it goes. Yeah, it's primarily clothes. It's not furniture this time. So anyway, stay tuned. Know that I'm going to show you how to fill the holes, sand strip the top, paint the bottom, do it in milk paint, and then I'm going to show you how to do the fabric on that chair. I'm going to go back to the studio. We're going to load this stuff up, and stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. Hey, so as you pop on here, just say, hey, tell me where you're tuning in from, and guess what? Share this video. Tell people to tune in for the restoration part and then the reveal. If you share this video, I am going to choose a winner, and I'm going to send you a paintbrush and a can of my new miracle paint that you're going to absolutely fall in love with. All right, have a great day, guys. Mwah. Okay. I wanted to update you, those of you that were following along when we were just at Haven House. And here's the exciting thing. I got the chair and I got the solid oak nightstand for $25. Now, we didn't haggle with them. Is haggle a Southern saying? No. Or is that just something everybody says? Do y'all say that? Do y'all say haggling? That we love haggling normally, but
I felt like I was being Simon LeGree
to even, yeah.
It was pretty cheap.
It was so cheap. We didn't want to haggle, but just say in the comments if you like haggling. If you like, it's like getting a deal. If you save $10 and be able to come down. Now, if I was at a garage sale, totally would have haggled. If I was at an estate sale, totally would have haggled. But here's the great thing, and this was one of the things that I wanted y'all to know. Haven House, which is on 98 here along kind of Inlet Beach, Santa Rosa Beach in Florida, which is where we live. And it is a great organization that goes along with the premise that a lot of you may not even know that we've been involved with for many, many years. But part of our tagline at Amy Howard at Home is rescue, restore, redecorate. And that's the name of my book. If you didn't know my book, you can go. We actually sell it on amyhowardhome.com. And it's sold on Amazon and in bookstores. But the thrift store Haven House is all about giving men that have struggled with drugs and alcohol addiction an opportunity at a new life. It's a 2-year program that they go through, and they're able to have a new life, be able to find out what their purpose is. And the exciting thing is for us, those of you that maybe don't know, we have worked with women that have been in human trafficking for about the past 7 years. And we're so excited because we've partnered with an organization here called Be Generous, that we are helping the women learn how to be able to paint furniture. And they actually did this week. They painted 3 pieces of furniture, and they're reselling it in their little store that they have. So the chair that we bought, the nightstand that we bought, we're actually going to be working with them and showing them how to paint them, how to paint fabric, and how to be able to see pieces, to see the right pieces to be able to get, and teach them how to do these finishes and let them turn around and resell them. So I think I enjoy that probably as much as I do anything else. I enjoy letting someone see that they can rescue something, they can restore something, and that it will be beautiful, and that they see the correlation in their life that they have been rescued, and they are being restored, and they are going to be redecorated.
Well, their tagline.
Hold on. Hey guys, what's today? I'm like, happy Tuesday. I know a lot of you will probably watch this later and you're like, why does she always say what day it is? It's just a way of me being able to say happy Tuesday or happy Friday. But anyway, if you're new to being able to watch us here on Facebook, my name is Amy Howard and I am dubbed the original Mother Maker. I don't know if that's because I've been around a long time or because I love teaching and bringing people along my journey of crafting a beautiful life. So if you were with me last week, you will remember, or you can go back on our feed and see when I was at Haven House. It's a fabulous thrift store here in Santa Rosa Beach in Florida, where Jane and I now reside. And I love it because it's all about rescuing and restoring lives of the men that work there, but also the furniture. Let's take a close-up look at this chair really quickly. Do y'all remember it? We got 2 pieces of furniture for $12.50 each. So, think about it. I got this chair for $12.50. Now, if you look at it at the surface, you're like, Amy, it's filthy. I wouldn't want that in my house, but here's the good thing. I'm going to show you today how you can paint the fabric. And this chair can also become a chair that you can use outdoors as well. A lot of people don't realize that. If you've got small children and you worry about them eating spaghetti, getting food on their hands, and putting it on the fabric, let me get some water, then you worry about it. And this makes it so easy to be able to clean, and you don't have any issues with it. Look at one of the things on this fabric. You'll notice that it is a cotton, which is a really easy fabric to paint. I want to tell people normally stay away from velvets, stay away from mohair, stay away from really heavy thick nap fabrics. It's gonna hold too much. So, here's the other thing I love about my chair. It swivels. And I'm gonna remove the cushion and I'm gonna bring it over here. And I want to show you how you need to be able to mix up your paint. So, let's do a close shot. I want you to see the can, because I know a lot of people can get confused. I'm going to be working with my One Step today. The One Step is our chalk-based paint that has calcium carbonate in it. And then we also have our Miracle Paint. This is unfortunately not the perfect paint to use when you're wanting to paint fabric. Is it a great paint? 100%. It is a water-based enamel that is perfect to be able to use outdoors as well as indoors. I adore this paint. And you can use it on pots outside, you can use it on iron, you can use it on metal, you can use it on tile. It's amazing. But I'm gonna put it over here because that's not what we're gonna be working with today. If you're going to be painting fabric, you want to make sure that you work with the One Step because it has a calcium carbonate, and here's the other thing. It has a beautiful matte finish to it. So you've heard a lot of people say in the past, well, why don't you put fabric softener and water and mist your fabric before you paint? I am not suggesting you do that, because what it does will actually make it harder, and I want to get away from the crunchiness in the paint when you're going to be painting with it. Now, as a rule, you know, we always talk about no sanding, no priming, but when you're painting fabric, you want to be able to sand in between coats, and what that does, it just takes that nap down. Think about when you're shaving, and I use this analogy when guys are shaving their face, and how they'll use different foams, or they'll lather it up to make the beard stand up to be able to shave. And a lot of the same ways when you're working with the naps of these fabrics, when you're going to be adding the paint, it's raising that nap of that fabric up, and it's going to make it rough. So when we sand it, we're taking it back down, and we're going to actually finish off with adding our wax to it, and it's going to soften it and make it really easy to work with. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take you through the process of getting started and how to do it. I'm going to continue to work on the chair after we're not live anymore, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the reveal, because this is really something that I want you to be able to try yourself, especially those of you that we're in spring, we're looking outside and we're going, oh my gosh, all my cushions are mildewed, like you've got outdoor furniture and your umbrellas are mildewed, or maybe it's just starting to look kind of old and frayed. And this is the perfect opportunity for you to be able to paint your outdoor cushions. You can do exactly what I'm doing today and give it new life. You can use patterns, you can use our stencils, you can come on top of it. You just need to work with the one step all the way across. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a combination of water, fabric softener, and one-step paint. So the ratios and the percentages that you're working with this are very, very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and add my water. I'm going to do 1 part water, 1 part fabric softener, and 2 parts paint. So part of the key of doing this, and a lot of you are like, how come you never measure? Well, it's just kind of like I've been doing this a long time. It's like cooking. Y'all probably don't measure some of the recipes that you make, and you've done it for a long time. Now, so 1 part water, 1 part fabric softener, and now I'm going to come back with 2 parts paint. Now, it's good when you're working with the paint to go on and make sure, see that yummy goodness down at the bottom? Make sure you stir this up really good, because some of the best part of the pigmentation of your paint is going to be at the bottom. So I'm just stirring this up to get that up to the top. Now I'm going to pour this out into my mixture. Stir it up really good. You're going to notice on some of these darker colors that they'll have a tendency to go a little bit lighter, but when they dry down, it's going to go darker. The nice thing about it is the smells really good. It's very fragrant. I want to make sure that this stirred up really good. Now, part of the reason you're going to see this when you go online, and it can get fairly confusing, is a lot of people will say, well, go on and mist your fabric. Because I can tell on this fabric that it does have some type of retardant in it, probably a flame retardant. If I go in and I just basically mist my fabric like this, it will add just a little bit of moisture to it, but you cannot treat all fabrics the same. So while I'm showing you one, it's really best to be able to use this process more on cottons and linens and more absorbent fabrics. So where if you're working with a really high nap fire retardant fabric, it's not going to accept this water at all. It's not really going to do any good, and it's going to make the nap go from side to side. The other thing is, so I stay primarily with cottons, but the other thing is I love painting vinyl. It can look like leather, especially coming back and adding some colorant with our dark wax. It's absolutely beautiful. But I usually don't brush on vinyl, I spray it on. So if you've got a airless sprayer, that way you can spray it on. So, by the way, as you pop on here, say hey. I almost forgot. Say hey, tell me where you're tuning in from, and here's the deal. If if you share this video, not only are you helping a friend, being able to say, hey, Patty, you know, we were talking about your outdoor furniture, watch this video that Amy's showing you how to do it. But I'm also going to give away a can of the one-step paint, a brush, and a container of wax to be able to use to do your own furniture to the people that share this video. So share this video. We'd say sharing is caring. And I'm going to be drawing a person's name, and on Thursday afternoon, I'll give you time to be able to share it. Thursday afternoon, I'm going to give that away, and we'll announce the winner on this feed. So thank y'all for sharing. Okay, so I misted my fabric just a little bit. I'm going to be working with a synthetic brush. Now, the type of brush that you're working with is important too. A natural bristle brush is gonna, it's just naturally the, some of the bristles are gonna come out, and I will work with a synthetic brush. This looks like one that I have gilded with lately, so I'm trying to get all of my gold in here. So I'm gonna make sure that my mixture of my fabric softener, my water, and my paint are all mixed up really well. And now I've misted my fabric, if you didn't see that. Now I'm just going to come back. And this isn't about solid coverage when I'm painting fabric. Big, big, big tip here. It's not about me trying to get it covered this first time. I'm concerned about getting a color on because my intent is to probably paint this 3 times. So I'm more concerned with making sure that I don't have any negative space. And I'm getting some nice coverage. See how nice and thin it's going on, guys? I'm gonna tell you, don't think for 1 minute that you can put fabric softener and water on your fabric and then just come back on top of it with straight paint. You're better off to thin your paint down, add your fabric softener, and then that way put on more applications. So if it's a little thinner, that's okay. I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm gonna, after this has a chance to dry, and it really, what a lot of people don't realize, not only does the fabric softener kind of soften it and work with your fabric, but it also is going to make your paint take longer to actually dry. So as a rule, when you're working with the one-step paint, it'll usually dry fairly quickly. But because we've added the fabric softener, it's going to literally slow down the drying time. So I'm just trying to get a good application on here because I want you to be able to see it. I want you to see what it looks like. You see how my color's kind of drying down? So I wanted to put that on my cushion. I want it to start to dry down for you to see. Now see these areas where this brighter color red is starting to peek through? I'm not worried about that. Don't worry about it because I'm gonna cover that up probably with my second coat. Now, let's look at our chair just a little bit. Look, it's got this darling little flap on the bottom. It's our skirt. And you can paint this just like you do any part of the other part of the chair. Now, this is a lot of fun. I'm gonna go in and mist this just a little. This is gonna be so fun to see this chair finished. Y'all are gonna have so much fun seeing it. And right now I'm actually thinking about doing a pattern, a design in one of our stencils on the seat, which I think could make it really fun. So here's the other thing. If you're working with a welt cord like this and you want to get down in there, a lot of times, see, even more reason why it's important to work with a brush that's more stiff, and so that way I use it. So I'm just going to stipple it down in here and brush it out. So as I'm working my way around, again, when you're putting this on, please make sure, if you're just now popping on, just say, hey, tell me where you're tuning in from. But here's the other thing, please go back to the very beginning of this video because I want to make sure that you thin down your paint properly when you're wanting to be able to come in and paint it. Are there any questions? Are they asking questions? Okay. if you have a question about painting fabric, painting your cushions, what kind of fabric, ask it on here. I'm gonna go back and be looking at the post so that way I can answer your questions. Now I'm gonna turn this around just a little bit. Can you see that from here? Because I am telling you, being able to paint fabric, outdoor cushions, furniture, when you're able to get something like my chair here that I got for $12.50 at Haven House, it allows us to be able to have a really comfortable chair here at the office to be able to sit on, and it swivels. It doesn't get much better than this. So I wanted to show you enough to be able to see the transformation that we were going to go through. Again, I'm not trying to get all the coverage the first time. I want to get one thin coat on, and I've mixed 1 part water, 1 part fabric softener, any fabric softener of your choice, and 2 parts paint. Mix that all together. Mist your fabric first, put on 1 really thin coat. After it dries completely to the touch, and I want to make sure that it's very cured. We've got some beautiful heat here today, so I'm going to be able to set it outside for it to dry faster. But on average, around 6 to 8 hours. Then that way, lightly sand it with 400 grit sandpaper, brush it off. Then we're going to put on the second coat, do the same thing again, and I'm going to test it. As a rule, it takes me 3 coats when I'm painting fabric to get really good coverage if I'm working with lighter colors. I might be able to get away with 2 working with this darker gray. So it's gonna look amazing, and then we're gonna wax it. So I'm gonna keep painting. You stay tuned, share this video, tag some friends, and your name will go on for the drawing for the paint, the brush, and the wax. So you can do the same project. Stay tuned because I'm gonna show you what this looks like tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Okay, y'all are gonna think I'm 100% crazy, but here's the deal. I say that, I shouldn't say that. I think I found my tribe. I think y'all like doing this too, and that's why you get so excited. So anyway, this is video 2 of the process of working on my chair. So I wanted to just kind of show you. I want to turn this around. So look how it's dried down. Here's the fun thing. It's drying so quick. I'm kind of blown away. Here, look at this. Look at, it's soft. Now, it's a little damp, not too terribly much, but look how I can see a little bit of see the pattern design, the cross hatching, but see the little chimoisering man? No, I'm not concerned about that. So I wanted you to see, because a lot of you put too much paint on in the very beginning, and I wanted you to see it's not perfect. Look at this. It's not perfect. This is the way it's supposed to be when you're working on it the first time. Now, kind of see this color. There's some light on it so that way you can see. But now look at the transition. See how I'm starting to put the second coat on? Look at that. Can you see the difference? Look at the coverage. Look at the top. So see what a difference the second coat makes? Look at this. I am so excited. Now, see, he looks like the little ugly duckling right now, so don't judge him. What we're going to focus on is that kind of coverage there and how good it looks. So I wanted you to see, here's 1 coat. We're not concerned about it being perfect. Please don't put too much paint on that first time. And if you're just now popping on and going, what is she doing? Go back to the video that I did just a few minutes ago. I'm painting a chair, and I shared the recipe of what I do when I'm actually painting fabric with the 1-step. The other thing is too, guys, a lot of companies that have a chalk-based paint out there, they don't have the adherence quality that we do with the 1-step. When I tell you this, look, my nails look so bad, but I want to show you. As far as being able to rub it, nothing comes off on my hands. There are other paints that you can't do this process with it because it will literally come off even after you wax it. So you don't have that problem with the 1-step. So I wanted you to see first coat. Now I'm starting to come back with my second coat, and it's giving me beautiful coverage. So stay tuned. Okay. I want you to see, those of you have to go back and watch the video earlier. And a lot of you were probably thinking, why is Amy painting that chair black? One, I love black, I love white, I love monochromatics. A black chair can anchor any room, depending on what the palette is. And so I want to be able to show you, one, look at this, look at the give, look how soft the fabric is. I wish you could feel it, but I'm not finished yet. Look, this is what I want to do. Now, allow it to dry down. This is drying so much faster than we thought. And can you see this kind of cross-hatching in the fabric? A lot of times what you're going to notice when you're working on painting fabric is that sometimes the fibrous materials are going to start to come out. Not a whole lot, but you can just take it. Sometimes I'll take a little tape and I'll just dust it off. But I'm going to very lightly, it's not about sanding this direction or that direction because I have the hatching. I'm going to very, very lightly sand in the direction that I actually painted. And you're going to see a little bit more change on this color because it's black. If I was painting this chair a pale blue or cream, you're not going to see it as much. And so, oddly, it's crazy how soft this is. I really could even get by without sanding it. But I want to be able to take you through this process because you might be working on a fabric that might not be as pliable and as soft as this. And here's the other thing. Remember, and you need to go back and watch the original video about the glaze that we made up with the one step. Now, all paint is not alike. I cannot express this anymore. And the fact that our one-step paint can be used on fabric, not the miracle paint. That is a water-based enamel, but the one-step paint is a calcium carbonate-based paint with additives in it, still zero VOCs, but it allows you to be able to get this kind of look, and it's matte. You would not want to go in and start using acrylic-based paints in painting fabric because part of the beauty is it goes to this gorgeous matte finish that it will not come off on your hands. And I'm going to start to wax it. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Mind Your Own Beeswax. It's so easy because I can just squirt it out. I'm going to put just a little bit on my rag like this. And then in a circular motion, I'm going to go over my chair like this that I just lightly sanded. And then it's going to give me this gorgeous finish that is great to be able to use outdoors. Yeah, let's get one on top, and I'm going to put a little bit more wax. The other thing is the wax does seal it for if you want to clean it, you can have it outdoors. And I usually will let it sit there, and then I'll start to let it dry down. And then I'll come back and I'll start to buff it just a little bit. It's going to give it a beautiful patina. Now, I want to be able to show you this. I have this in my cabinet. This is actually a pillow that I have painted. And I thought, I want to pop this in here. Now, I've got to style it, but look at this. Like, you could come in and start painting your pieces. You could have some outdoor furniture like this because I got this chair for $12.50. Here's the other thing that I may play with. Y'all tell me, as you pop on here, okay, hold on. I want you to see this. Look at this stencil. Now, this is a Maker Studio stencil. Is this the cutest thing? So, y'all tell me, vote on this. Say, Amy, yes, we want you to put the pattern on the seat base. Or Amy, no, we don't want you to put a pattern. But I thought about doing a pale gray or silver metallic. Tell me. Silver gray, a silver metallic or light gray, and then do this pattern on the chair, or I could even do it on the band. So tell me, keep walking from the camera. Tell me what you want to do. Because I think it's so fun to be able to go through the process. I want you to be able to see literally how transformative it can be to be able to paint fabric as easy as this. And I'm going to be through with it today. So it makes it so much fun. And my little $12.50 chair has got a brand new life. Now, this is where I talk about it's time for you to enjoy the bragging rights too. I want to see you guys doing this on the Amy Howard at Home before and after page. Have a great day, everybody. Mwah. Y'all are gonna go. I am getting tired of Amy hopping on here all day long. Look at me, I look so bad. But I'm so excited about what I'm doing. I thought, I want you to see it. I want you to see it. I am having such a good time with this little chair. And it's the black is just so cute. But here, are you ready? I thought, I can't bring this up and not take you through the whole process. So are you ready? I have to show you this. So can I grab me one of the stencils? Grab me the new stencil that is laying over there. I want them to see. All right, so were you watching earlier? Look at this. So this is the stencil. This is from my parent company. My sister company. See how excited I am? A Maker Studio. Look at this. All right, so we voted on it. We were like, do we do white? Do we do pale gray? Do we do metallic? Guess what? We voted on metallic. Are you ready? Look at this. So we used our metallic gray ink. It's a gorgeous gray metallic, silver, with this stencil. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Look. So what I did, OMG. You can't see anything? Denise, can you see it now? All right, so look at this. So what I did is I laid my pattern in the center. OMG. I laid my pattern in the center. Oh my goodness, I should say. And so I wanted to be able to have it so where I can just come on either side with my stencil, because the way our patterns are, I'm able to, once this dries, I'll be able to marry my stencil up to be able to take the pattern all the way to the side. Look at this. So can you see what I'm working with? And so that way I'll be able to marry it over here without any problem. And I'll be able to go on and come and do the edge. But I'm going to allow this welt cord to stay black. Okay, Denise, let me know that you can see this. Guys, let me know. Can you see it? So I lay this down. I'll be coming down here and I'll marry my pattern up again. And then that way, on my little chair, I'll have this gorgeous pattern. Now, here's the other thing. Look at that. Look at that silver metallic. Is that gorgeous? Look at that. I love this pattern, first of all. I think it's fabulous. Yay, Karen, thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, so here's the deal. While I'm going to continue to work on this, and that way you can see my little chair here. This is my cushion. And if I wanted to, I could do the whole chair and it could be pretty fabulous. But hey, Becky, hey, girl, see, you could do this. Now, guys, does this not take my little $12.50 chair to a whole new level? Being able to have this pattern on there. Lynn, we do have coastal stencils. We have a lot of them. And now think about this. While I'm working with the silver and the black, this is our silver metallic ink. And here was the other thing that I wanted you to be able to see. As I'm working on this chair, you know, I talked to you about coming back and actually waxing it, which is what I'm doing. And it's looking so fab, so fab. But if you want to be able to add any type of art to it, you need to do this first. So I want to make sure that I am not doing the design here after the wax. You need to make sure that you do this first, allow it to dry. I would let the metallic ink dry overnight. And then that way come back and then add your mind your own beeswax over it. It will just act as a protectant and it's going to give you a gorgeous, gorgeous look. So I was beside myself and I thought, I have to share this with you because it's so amazing. It's so fun, so easy. And I cannot tell you how satisfying this is knowing I got my chair for $12.50 and I'm going to be able to put it up somewhere and somebody's going to go, help me, Hannah. That's fabulous. Now I'm going to be able to turn around. Those of you that love side hustles, what a great chair to be able to turn around and sell. This is kind of the crowning glory of it. Now, black, it was great, but this is to die for. So stay tuned. We're going to keep working. Oh, here's the other deal. Share this video and I'm gonna do a drawing for 3 people. I can't just do one. I'm gonna do 3 people that I am gonna be giving this stencil away. Put your name will go in for the drawing. Share this video on what we're doing on this fabric, on this chair, and maybe you'll win the stencil because I want you to turn around and do it yourself on a chair and make it look fabulous too. Mwah! Have a great day, everybody. Okay, so, you know, like anything, progress. We're making progress. That's all that counts at this point. And as I popped on here just a second ago and I was wanting to be able to show you, I was more concerned about teaching you than I was staying focused on my project. So I deleted that and now I'm showing you because I want you to see. So yesterday, a lot of you, when I was giving you updates on my chair, you were like, Amy, are you working with a stencil or what is that? So I wanted to show you, I laid down the pattern of my stencil in the center of my chair. And basically, if you haven't been following me, I'm taking you on the journey of my little $12.50 swivel chair that we have painted black. It is so soft, it feels so good. I can use it indoors or out. And we've not waxed it yet because we don't need to wax it until I get finished with my art. And basically, I'm using a metallic ink from a maker studio. And that's what I'm using on top of my cushion. So just get a close up there so they can see. And the way these stencils work is that they are adhesive. And so when you pull them away from the backing, you can see through them. And so wherever that negative space is where the ink is going to come through. Now, I think what's cool about this, if I show this like this, can you see the metallic nature? Is it showing up? It's really, really pretty. So while this is pretty dramatic on the black, if you were doing this in a cream colored chair, you could do it with pale grays or pale blues, and it could be really, really pretty as well. So basically, I wanted to be able to show you, I'm trying to think where would be a good place to be able to go, because I have to marry up my patterns. Okay. So one thing you're going to notice, let's get close here so that way you can see. The patterns marry up. So now, see on the edge of this, there's like a black band. I can't do this. I can't come and just butt it up. I've got to overlay it. So see, can you see through the mesh? See how you can see that? So I'm gonna have to marry up with the body of what it's gonna look like. So right here, I'm literally laying it on top of that flower to be able to make sure that it's married up to where it's gonna be at the same place. And as I lay that down, I'll see some of that area to where now I've got my stencil adhered. You'll notice I am not going to try to get it to stick all the way because my cushion is curved. So I'm going to work this way and press it down. And then when I get to the point of where my welt is, I'm going to take my spreader and I'm going to press it down into that edge and then come up this way. So I'm going to apply my ink going this way. When I get to the edge, I'm just going to flip it. I'm going to press it down into that little gully to where my pipe is, and then I'm going to pull it back up. So I'm going this way, and this way, and work my way across so I've got the pattern everywhere. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to keep working, and then I'm going to give you a progress report in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Look at my little chair. Look at my little $12.50 fund. If you did not watch me last week, go to my favorite thrift store, Haven House. Go back and look at it. I found it sitting in the gravel outside, and part of the reason why I chose it is what I want you guys to learn when you're picking your pieces. And the fact that it's best to start with a piece that you're going to paint the upholstery that is either cotton, a linen, or a cotton blend. Stay away from heavy napped fabrics like your velvets, your the really heavy thick upholstery, and I try to stay away from having stamped patterns that are part of the texture. You can do, of course, stamped patterns that are the design, which is what I had on here, but stay away from really thick embossed finishes unless you want that to show up on your chair. So the other thing that I wasn't worried about, I don't know if you noticed, it did have a lot of kind of dirt and frayingness to it. I wasn't worried about that. There were no rips and there were no tears. There's a way to fix those, but I'm going to show you that on another project. But the other thing I loved about my $12.50 chair is the fact that it swiveled. It was in great shape, and it had kind of a mid-century modern look to it. It's a club chair that could go in almost any room. The great thing about it is, too, if you have an umbrella outside, if you have your cushions that you've got on your outdoor furniture, guess what? You can paint it just like I did mine. Now, I know a lot of you go online and you look at things on all this different social media sites, and I don't want you to get confused because there is a right way and a wrong way to paint fabric. So, the formula that I want you to do, write this down. Share this video. Oh my gosh. Okay, are you ready for this? Now, I know you know I love giving things away, but the lucky winner, sharing is caring, the lucky winner that if you share this final video, I'm going to be giving away a can of One Step paint in the black, just like I did. I'm going to be giving away a brush. I'm going to be giving away wax to be able to paint, to put on it after you paint it, as well as the stencil and as well as the silver metallic ink that I did just like my chair. Because I want you to redo this entire project just like I did it. It was that much fun. So share this video, tag some friends, and your name will go in for a drawing. And on Friday afternoon, we're going to make the announcement of the winner to win all these yummy things that I'm going to ship to you absolutely free just for sharing. So, all right, so we're going to share away. All right, so I want to walk you through the formula and what I did. I mixed 1 part fabric softener with 1 part water and 2 parts One Step paint, okay? You do not use the miracle paint when you're painting fabric. We need to stay with the calcium carbonate paint, which is a chalk-based paint, which is what this is. This will also not work well with acrylics. It's best that you stay with the calcium carbonate paint. And the great thing about our One Step paint is it's not going to come off. It's going to be very, very durable, and you're going to be able to use it outdoors. Now, the let's just talk from a measuring. 1 cup of softener, 1 cup of water, 2 cups of One Step paint. If you're going to be working with a softener that has, or let's say this, if you're going to be working with a cream color to paint your fabric, if you want to use a pale gray or pale blue, you don't want to use a blue colored softener. So they do make cream colored softeners. I've actually seen them at Costco. That's the softener that you need to be able to use. So 1 cup softener, 1 cup water, 2 cups paint. So what I did is that I just made sure that I didn't have any tears. I painted 1 coat on. Go back on the video so where I'm showing you, because it's thin. Don't put it on too heavy. Make sure you don't have any drips. And you need to use a synthetic brush to be able to paint it on. Now, what's going to happen a lot of times when you're not realizing is the softener is going to retard your drying time. It's going to take longer to dry, which is a good thing, and it does help with the leveling. It does a beautiful job, and then you'll notice on here, I don't see any brush marks at all. So, paint on your first coat, do it thin. I'm not concerned about getting a lot of coverage. It looks ugly with the first coat, that's okay. Let it dry about 4 to 5 hours. If you want to, it can dry overnight. Then I want you to come back, lightly sand it with about 400 grit sandpaper, and then put on your second coat. This chair I was able to paint in 2 coats with only 2/3 of the can of paint. So it allows you to be able to see my coverage. 2/3 of this can, and I had paint left over, and I was able to paint the cushion and the entire chair twice. So after it's dried, lightly sand it, and then put on your second coat. Lightly sand it again after it's dried for about 6 to 8 hours, and then you're good to go. Now, notice, let's look at the art real quick. Look at the C. Now, I want you to do any type of artwork. This, we just used a stencil from a maker studio. We're going to put the link down below for you. We used the stencil from a maker studio, and then we used our metallic ink, which it's spectacular. I don't know if you can see the metallic nature of it, but it really adds a little pizzazz. Those of you that you like flipping furniture, you like having a side hustle, you're part of my tribe. I love that too. It's a really great way to be able to make some additional money. And when you think about, I paid $12.50 for my chair. I've got less than $55 in supplies in my chair, and I could easily turn around and sell this chair for about $395. Easy peasy, all day long. So you think it took me just a few hours. I was able to do it in a day's time, and now I'm able to add some extra money in my pocket. But the other thing is, maybe this is something that you want to do some outdoor seating outside. A lot of people don't realize that you can paint wicker. You can paint a lot of the plastic, you can paint metal, and then that way paint your cushions, and you've got a gorgeous piece. So we did allow the silver metallic ink to dry overnight, and then that way, once it's dry, you can wax your entire chair with the Mind Your Own Beeswax and buff it just a little bit to a nice sheen, and that way it can sit outside. If you have problems with a bird pooping on it, which a lot of times you can when it's outdoors, it will simply wipe off with just a moist rag. Or if you've got small children and they get spaghetti sauce and they get food and sticky candy on your chair, guess what? All you have to do is wipe it off with a little soap and water. It's gonna wear well. It's not gonna come off on your clothes. It's beautiful and soft and easy to work with. It's something that you can truly enjoy the bragging rights with and enjoy it for years to come. So I was excited to do this reveal. I'm very proud of my little chair, and I'm excited to be able to see how you take what I've taught you and apply it in your own life. Go to the thrift store, buy a piece, and then you can enjoy the bragging rights. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Mwah.